My name is Rick Peterson, a leadership candidate for the Conservative Party of Canada. Hi to TorontoTV. I'm here to talk to people in Toronto, in Markham, about my campaign, about the future of the party, and look forward to being part of a regeneration, a resurgence of the Conservative Party in the GTA. Thank you so much.
What's your background?
I'm an investment banker. I run a small business in Vancouver. We finance public companies across Canada, technology companies. We finance people who are growing businesses in the technology sector, healthcare, and the resources. So we're close to entrepreneurs who are growing this country, creating jobs, and providing the wealth that we all need in the years ahead.
Getting away from a high-paid job in Ottawa, is that worthwhile?
Working on behalf of Conservatives and behalf of all Canadians is a great job, no matter what the money is, but the most important thing is advancing Conservative ideas, fiscal responsibility, and making sure that every single Canadian has the opportunity to fully exploit the gifts that we all have. The way to do that is to make sure we have a good, strong Conservative government.
Do you run for any public office before?
I'm a 30-year member of the Conservative Party, have never run for office myself. I have worked on campaigns, raising money, knocking on doors, so I got a very good idea what it takes to win an election.
So you're running from the back to front now. You're getting from the back to front now, right?
Getting from the back room to the front of the stage, absolutely.
You run and you run for leadership.
I'm running for the leadership. I'm going to win the leadership, and on May 28th, I'll be the new leader of the party, and we'll talk to my caucus. I'd like to be in the House of Commons as soon as I can and carry the flag for Conservatives across Canada. Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Well done.
Rick Peterson? Well, you don't want to test me much further than that. My wife Irish is sitting back there, and I was saying to Irish on the way in that I am thrilled to be here with these three guys, because these are my three favorite other leadership candidates. They really are. They're good. We have 14 candidates, and the reason I'm in the race, ladies and gentlemen, is that Canadian voters in 2015 sent our party a big message. They said that we need a new voice, we need a new face, we need a new brand for the Conservative Party. Nothing wrong with the policies, nothing wrong with the direction we're going, but we got to change it up in a big way. Now, my colleagues are not new faces to the Conservative Party. They have lots of good ideas. So there's really only two new people in this race. Both of us are businessmen. Both of us have not much hair, right? Both of us want to build the party. But I'm the only one who speaks fluent French. All three of my colleagues speak very good French as well too. I lived in Europe for 10 years, so I had a bit of a head start on them. But I speak French. Every single one of us shows up for debates. Every single one of us has been a long-time Conservative. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a new voice for the party, there's me and a reality TV movie star. So let me tell you why I'm the best choice and why I should be your number one choice on your ballot. Number one. Because the number one thing that counts for me is the number one thing that counts for you. It's jobs and the economy, growing this country, saving money, keeping the government out of your pocket. I have an economic and a fiscal plan. If you go to petersonleader.ca, do any of you run a small business or work for a small business or own a small business? Okay. Your income tax rate when I'm the Prime Minister will go to zero. Zero corporate income tax. Any small business in Canada under my plan will have a zero corporate income tax. Does anybody here pay personal federal income tax? I shouldn't ask that, but I'm sure we all do. Personal income tax rate will go to 15%. 15% flat tax is the same tax rate that we're seeing in a lot of countries that are accumulating a lot of wealth. So the third part of my platform will be a GST raise. We'll all be paying more in our GST. It'll go from 5 to 9%. We have to do that because, ladies and gentlemen, if we want to attract investment into Canada, we have to take advantage of the fact, we have to rather be cognizant of the fact that the Americans are lowering their tax rate. Canada is not very competitive. Every single one of us will tell you that the Trudeau government is spending more money than it's making. And we're going deep into debt. We know what debt does. When Susan and I are both in the investment industry, when I started with Midland Wallen back in 1987, interest rates were 16, 18%. We know what happened then. And we're on that same path. I often joke in northern Alberta, where I came from, we ate wieners and beans during that period of time. My dad lost his job, my mom lost her dress shop, my brother lost his construction company. So the number one priority, the reason you should put me number one on your ballot, ladies and gentlemen, is I have the most complete, biggest tax reduction fiscal plan in this leadership race that will produce growth and create jobs. Second element, and I'm going to end it here. Aside from speaking French, je parle français couramment, je sais pas s'il y en a qui parlent français ici, but it is important, is I live in urban Canada. I live in Vancouver. I have friends in Richmond, where the ethnic Chinese population there is very high. I have supporters in Burnaby, Richmond, New Westminster, in the Lower Mainland. The Lower Mainland of Canada, Vancouver, is a reflection of the Canada that's growing. So my policies reflect the understanding of what an important contribution immigration means to Canada. I have, under my economic plan, and the lady back there is whooping it up because she's heard my ideas and likes them, is my economic plan will see immigration levels rise along with the job creation. So 80% of immigration at the end of my first term as Prime Minister will be economic and business immigration. I think it could be as high as 400,000 if the jobs are there and the infrastructure is there. Family reunification numbers will be the same as where they are right now, and the refugee numbers will be even a little bit lower than where the Trudeau government is. But ladies and gentlemen, Canada, the reason we lost part of the election is it wasn't for what we were doing on the immigration side, it was the image that we were not open for immigration. And that's not true. That's not true. I didn't have the privilege of working with my colleagues, but I can tell you that every single one of them has done whatever they can to increase immigration responsibly in Canada. Under my leadership, that message will be loud and clear. That is not the same message other leadership candidates are giving in this race. So if you want a pro-immigration, smart business policy, put me at number one on your ballot. I'm the only candidate fluently bilingual in each one of the three major urban areas. I can grow our party in Toronto, where you need more MPs in GTA. I can grow our party in Montreal, where I have an office. I have two of my children live there. And I can grow the party in Vancouver. So I need your help. You're already a member, so I want you to put me at number one on your ballot. Number one. By putting me at number one on your ballot, that shows you that your number one, shows me, and it shows the party, your number one concern is jobs, growth, and the economy. You can find more details at petersonleader.ca. But I want to thank you for being part of the leadership contest. I want to thank you for welcoming me and my colleagues. And I want to tell you that this has been the honor of my life to run the leadership of this great party, as Michael just said, this great institution. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this race, on May 27th, our party is set to win the next election, a Conservative majority in 2019. Thank you very much. 31 to 18, so I think I'm a little bit ahead of you guys. Be back a little bit behind you. But there's nobody on the leadership stage that doesn't agree with you. I disagree that millennials don't care about the economy and about taxes. I think that when we go coast to coast and we engage, especially on the campuses, the young Conservatives, at least anyway, are deeply, deeply interested in the economy and getting jobs. And one of the things that every one of us asks is, how many of you have 23-year-old kids living in your basement suite who want out? And a lot of hands go up across Canada, especially in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. So the economy is number one. That's the hard figure to it. But the other side to it is, again, I live in Vancouver. We lost some very good MPs to this liberal red wave only because of our branding and our image. Right? So our taxation policies, you can agree with mine or anybody else's and find different variations. But at the core, we all will always agree with that. What we need to do as a party is we need to understand that we have candidates that are from the urban centers, that understand the issues in the urban centers, and that understand that we welcome both progressive and social conservative views. We are not the party of intolerance. We are not the party that's closed. We're open, we're outgoing, and the third thing to do is we need to truly engage the grassroots of the party at the EDA level, right? Do like Aaron says, show up, come out, listen, and ask the ADAs what they want and what they need. So if we do that and have our party grassroots instead of top-down, I think we'll do those things. So fiscal and taxation policies, understanding urban concerns, and exploiting the grassroots with all the talent they have, okay?
Total agreement with Aaron and with Michael, but sanctuary cities, have you guys heard of sanctuary cities, this idea of a sanctuary city? So I'm in Montreal a lot, and the mayor of Montreal has designated his city as a sanctuary city. Vancouver is a sanctuary city. Is Toronto a sanctuary city, guys? Has it been designated sanctuary city? Anyway, what that takes is the mayor of the city says, we will accept immigrants, even if they're not here legally, into our city, and when they're here, we'll look after them, despite the fact that they're here legally. Okay? So as Prime Minister, I cannot stop the mayor from saying that, but I can take a leadership role in making it very clear that I do not accept the idea of sanctuary cities. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as the son of an RCMP officer, I take very seriously the role of our frontline people. Irish and I travel through the Vancouver airport way too often, and we meet and we talk to the CBSA, the Canadian Border Service Agent people. They are understaffed, they are snowed under, and the cases that they deal with at the airport are very, very important cases. The ones that get the headlines are coming across the border. That will be dealt with, and that will be dealt with, but we need to have the resources for our frontline people. I will deliver those resources, but I can tell you that I'll take a leadership role in calling out anybody in Canada who is calling for the sanctuary of immigrants who should not be on our territory. Okay? Thanks.